Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope that you've had a really good week and that you're managing your energy really well. I've had an extremely challenging week. I hope that it's like an isolated thing with me and doesn't pertain to the rest of you. I decided last night to start a rather aggressive ad campaign to boost my listening audience because I've been advertising to email-wise to close to 10,000 people a day for the past 8 weeks. And my listening audience went from 20 to 40 people. I need a little bit more than that to make a living. And so yesterday I got on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. It's Fiverr.com, because you could find just about anything there. Anyone is willing to do minimum $5 for any task as far as emails, SEO, Instagram influencers, marketing, bloggers, anything, you name it. So I was really excited. I thought, you know what? I'm going to spend $100 and get a few people on my team and let's get going on this because I need to make money. I need, like a year from now, I need to be able to support myself, because I have to be able to prove it to the Ecuadorian government so that next year I will be able to stay, provided I get my visa this month. So went ahead and ordered a bunch of ad campaigns, and wouldn't you know it, damn it, I want to put a moratorium on Murphy's Law. I do, because my sponsor for Anchor has ended. They only had a budget of $50, and I finally made the $50 mark. Oh my God, yesterday. So I don't even have a sponsor. If any of you if you have a new age or metaphysical business, I'm now looking for sponsors. I need 3, to be honest. And I don't know, if you have a business, you pay 2 pennies per listener, and you have to go to Anchor and arrange it through them so that you know for a fact that your ad was actually listened to. I will record it for you in my own voice. And as you know, besides the podcasting, I do voiceovers. Oh my God. So the rest of you, just please pray for me, because I just want to be able to keep this podcast going. I don't know. I've already found some amazing people. I've already gotten maybe 50 extra listens than normal in the past 24 hours. So it's starting to work. But it doesn't 100% matter, since I don't even have a sponsor, even though it matters in the other way, in which I want to reach a wide variety of people just to help raise our vibrations. So, I mean, that's my main purpose, but also I need to be able to eat, and if I have to get a job, I'm not going to have time to do my podcast. And so I'm just asking the universe for a miracle. I believe in miracles. For a second right there, just for one split, half a second, I was thinking, oh, Lord, I'm going to break the internet again. Well, thank God. So I didn't go to get my hard drive today because I look out my window and I see this lady walking down the street, and she is stumbling a little bit like she might be drunk or something, and I wasn't understanding. And then she's like holding her hand on a pole like she can't walk, and then she went and she sat down on this the edge of a sign, this little concrete stump that was kind of holding a sign. And I'm like, oh, there's something not right. It looks like she either has an emotional pain, like she's had some sort of a breakup or a death in her family. I mean, she looked that sad, like she was crying, and she put her head in her hands, and then she was holding her liver. And I'm like, oh my God. So I told my son, I'm like, can you go give that lady a hug, ask what's wrong, see what we can do, and tell her I'm sending her Reiki? Because I felt her emotions from across the street, right? So he ran over there, and he came back and he said, Mom, she has a serious liver condition, and she is in really bad health, and she had her money in her purse ready to pay at the pharmacy for the medicine that she needed. She had $50 with her, and she freaking lost her money, and she can't pay for her medicine, and she can absolutely die without it. So, all right, damn it. I gave him $20. Her medicine was $19. And so he went across the street and gave her the money, and she couldn't walk. So he went all the way to the pharmacy, bought her the medicine, and sat with her. I think he bought her a water too, and just sat with her while she took her medicine. And it's been like 3 hours, and I don't know what happened to my son. I mean, the lady is gone. My son is gone. I expected any minute he would be here. I even wrote out instructions en español, por hígado, dieta. In Spanish, I wrote out the instructions for the liver diet. Remember the diets I just went over like a couple days ago, and it's so fortuitous that I went over this. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, when he comes back, I'm sure he probably walked her home, and he's probably making sure she's okay. She's probably very sick. She looked like she was in dire straits. So I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell if she's an older lady or not, but I know she has a job. She had like one of those lanyards around her neck with like a name tag. So it looks like she has a job, but she probably can't work now because of this illness. And anyway, I don't even know what her name is. I'm calling her the liver lady or Lily the liver lady. Anyway, if you could send Lily the liver lady some energy and positive vibes, or at least just say a good prayer or hold good thoughts in your mind that she gets better soon. Hopefully. I end up buying people medicine here in Ecuador. About every 2 years, I run into somebody like this, that someone's in like a dire straits need. A couple years ago, I ran into this guy who, I don't know, he's about 23, 24 years old, and he was in a pretty nice outfit, like clean and neat looking, but he was sitting on this sidewalk propped up against a building on a corner and crying his heart out downtown. Just crying and crying and crying his heart out. And I'm like, what's wrong? What happened? It's like my heart went out to this guy. I couldn't not help. And I'm like, do you need a hug? Is there anything I could do for you? And he said that he had some kind of condition. It wasn't a liver related thing, but he had some kind of condition that if he didn't take his medicine, it was like a brain thing, like a seizures or something. And if he didn't take his medicine every day, he would die. But his mom and him were sharing a house. It was her house that she owned. and his taxes were due. His mom had just died, so obviously her income is lost, and he only had so much income for himself because he was also a student. And so his choice was lose his house, like not pay. He had to pay his electricity, his taxes, and his medicine that he needed every month to live. And he was like really truly thinking maybe pay his taxes and then just die in the house in the next month, because his heart was broken because his mom was dead and he was all alone in this world, and he had nobody and he had no support, and he was just like feeling so low. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't you go pay your taxes and your electricity, and I'm going to pay for your medicine. And I paid like, I don't know, $25-$30 for his medicine for the month. And he was just like crying so hard. He was just like hugging me, and he was just like, you know, so grateful and thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe a total stranger would buy my medicine. And so I found myself in this position every couple of years. This kind of thing happens, and this lady didn't ask. I just, my heart went out to her. Like I felt from across the street and 3 flights of stairs up from inside my apartment, I felt her energy. And she was just so sad. And I think she might've been crying out for God to help her. And I'm so grateful that I have the means and the ability at this moment, at least, to help people. I hope that if I'm ever in a dire straight situation, that somebody would take pity on me, and not really pity, but you know what I mean? Just have compassion in their heart for me to help me, you know what I mean? Like a pay it forward thing, but you know, or not really pay it backwards, but you know what I mean? It's like I've always been there for people when they needed me, and I don't know, this is why I want to do this show. And so I need to rethink my strategy as far as my basic. I'm like literally now making 0 pennies a day with this, and I need to fix my life, I guess. I've decided that I'm probably going to publish a series of books coming up soon called Metaphysical Soul Speak, the transcripts, so that you can go ahead and read what shows I've already done, but in book form. And I'll type word per word what I said and then clean it up a bit with the grammar and whatnot. But I've decided to maybe take all of my channelings and have a book about my channelings and all my health related things. So have a health book, and maybe one on chakras, maybe one on time travel, maybe one on tarot, how to read your tarot and various things. So I don't know, it's just ideas I'm tossing around. If you guys have any other ideas, I would love to hear them, because I mean, I might be that person in dire straits in about 1.5 years. So my email is metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. So I am going to read you guys the Schumann resonance for right now. It says, let's recap the situation. Since the quote-unquote red coloration started yesterday until the activity break, about 26 hours have passed. That is until yesterday's 21 UTC. Today, the activity started at 6:45 UTC with a peak at 30 hertz. From this moment, the activity continued until it reached its highest peak for today at 45 hertz shortly after 11 UTC, and after which there was a drop towards lower values. All right, so yeah, 45 hertz. Okay, it's good. It's a little bit better than yesterday. Let me ask my higher guidance. I forgot to ask before I jumped on here. Like to be connected to God. Am I connected to you? Cool. Are we at 96? That's what I heard. I heard you say before I asked. Okay, yeah, we are at 96 on the Ascension Symptoms Scale. So we've come down since yesterday. It's good. I have a lot less pain today. I am feeling physically better. I'm not emotionally devastated either over the news that I no longer have a sponsor. I just feel quite a bit more motivated. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever just felt like, okay, have you ever lost a job that you're just kind of, like you kind of like it or you don't like it, but the money is okay, but you're like, I could do better. I know I could do better. That's kind of the feeling I'm having today. Like, you know what? I know that I could have done better than that sponsor, even though I love Anchor. I feel that they were paying me like a third of what most sponsors would pay, but they're supposed to be finding me new sponsors, and it's been 6 months and I haven't found a second, let alone a third. Anyway, I don't want to go on and on about this. But I don't know. I'm motivated to keep on going. I'm making this podcast in the middle of the day. I'm trying to change my habits because I too suffer from insomnia. And I'm going to say after this message, in case in the future they may possibly be a message, even though right now there's nothing. It's just going to be like a 5 seconds or 3 seconds of music and then back to the show. Insomnia Part 2 coming right up. Natural Insomnia Therapies Part 2. All right, guys, yesterday I was mentioning water therapy, and then I completely skipped ahead and forgot to mention a couple things in relationship to water. Now, I did mention if you take a hot bath and you could add essential oils and whatnot, you could also take a hot shower right before you sleep. It will actually relax your muscles, and the steam will help relax you in other ways, with breathing and whatever, and relax your mind. But if you're in a really, really, really hot place right now, you probably don't want a hot shower. So an alternative water therapy for you would be a cool compress to the head. Just get a wet washcloth or maybe a wet t-shirt. If you don't have a washcloth, just wet a t-shirt and put that on your forehead. That will help. Or put it on your stomach just to calm you down and cool you off if you have a hard time sleeping due to that. I did hear something, and I don't know enough information about it to make a judgment call either way. I have never done this, but I have heard if you put on a pair of socks that are wet, so get your socks wet. I know this sounds completely insane. Get your socks wet, get in bed, and then put the wet socks on. By morning, they will be dry socks. And somehow that releases toxins. I don't know much about it. You can look it up on YouTube or Google it or, Bing it, whatever. I thought that was a very weird one. I'm including it just because, hey, why not? It's going to be one of those weird things. If you try it and it works, you can be like, okay, the secret to my sleeping success is wet socks. Who knew? Taking a quick dip in a pool, taking a swim if you have access to a swimming pool right before you sleep could actually alleviate a lot of tension and stress. Not if you're like exercising really rapidly, but just a really quick, gentle, calm sort of like Watsu, like water massage. That would be something that would just be perfect to help you sleep. If you wanted to do heavier, like water aerobicize or, water aerobics or, like swimming really fast, or for example, that would be something to do in the afternoon to get a good night's sleep that night. Also, just hanging out in a hot tub. Avoid alcohol always when you're in a hot tub because you could slip under the water and just drown yourself accidentally. It's very, the two things combined are really bad and you can pass out quickly. So don't ever drink alcohol while you're in a hot tub. But just taking a nice hot tub for an hour or half hour every night, that could be something that really alleviates stress. Another thing that I did say, I mentioned chamomile or lavender tea. I did forget to say horchata. There's a special tea here in Ecuador. It's different than the Mexican horchata. It's a different recipe, but there's also emoliente and another one that begins with A that I've encountered in South America. They have these stands that are on little street corners, especially in the bigger cities. So if you're walking around like 2 o'clock in the morning in Bogota, Colombia, what you're going to understand really quickly is all these people who can't sleep at night also create this lovely tea, and it's hot and it's herbal and it's so incredible. Some of them have gone so far as to have up to 20 different additives depending on all of the health situations that are going on with your body right now and your mind and spiritually. So like there was a guy that I met. He was on the street corner downtown in the Candelaria area in Bogota. So you could walk up to him and say, necesito un emoliente, por favor, and he'll give you an emoliente. But, basically I need this tea, thank you, or please. And he will give it to you, but then he'll go, well, what else do you need? And even in Lima, I found the same thing. And they will just be like, do you need extra vitamin B? Do you need, do you have help, need help with your liver? Do you need help with your mind? Have you gone through a breakup? Are you sad? Like, seriously, they know every possible, they're like herbal shamans, and they hang out on street corners at night. I know this sounds so weird. That sounds so insane, right? It's like totally something I would do. But it's so helpful. I mean, seriously, you could walk up to them and just go, okay, I need this and I need this and I'm really sad. And they go, okay, here's the thing that's going to perk you up mentally. This is going to boost your immune system. And so throughout all of South America, so if you look up recipe for emoliente, it's exactly how it sounds, emoliente, or aromatica. That's what it is in Peru, aromatica. Maybe it's the opposite. I think it's emoliente in Peru and aromatica in Bogota. But either way, you look up the recipe for this. These are excellent. They're immune system boosters. They will relax your mind and your body. They're meant to be drunk hot, very, very hot. In Bogota, you have the lovely addition of, would you like a shot of anise liqueur, which also relaxes you further. They also offer whiskey and rum, but that has nothing to do with anything other than it's kind of fun. And some people need the hair of the dog, But that's one thing I really super love about South America, though, is that there's a lot of health conscious entrepreneurial businesses that literally just crop up at night. They're like little pop-up booths on corners at night. There's even like sandwich ladies. I mean, some of the best sandwiches in the whole wide world could be had for $2 whole in the center of Lima, Peru. It's so insane. It's like you'd think that would be like the most dangerous, deadly time to be out. But it's actually pretty quiet at certain places. Victoria in Callao, you never want to go. Or Rimac, those are the worst. But I've noticed that when I was traveling, there's all these really strange things that occur at night that just don't happen in the day. And then in Lima in the morning, there's grapefruit stands. So you could get grapefruit juice squeezed fresh or orange juice squeezed fresh. And then they also will put in vitamin packets, and they have all these vitamin packets. I mean, it's really cool stuff that you just don't see anywhere else. Like, I've never seen this in the US. I don't know if they do this in Europe, but I kind of doubt it. Like, South America is pretty rare for this stuff. But as far as water therapy goes, if you look up horchata or emoliente or aromatica, that might give you an amazing recipe, because some of these recipes are passed down for like 1,000 to 4,000 years, to be honest. These are like native recipes. These are people that come from a tribal people who have been there for thousands of years. And they're like, a lot of it is jungle plants, but a lot of it is actually available in North America and probably throughout Europe as well. So I wanted to mention that before we get into today's or tonight's episode, because I mean, all the way in. All right, we're all the way in now. So I wrote chocolate therapy. Yeah, kind of in the, water therapy category, but also in the hot drinking of stuff. Drinking hot chocolate is extremely good for you. Especially, you don't have to put milk in it, just hot water with the chocolate. If you have a lot of pain, you can actually add chili powder. I know that sounds weird and a little gross, but you add chili, a little tiny bit of chili powder will create substance P in your brain if your insomnia is due to not sleeping at night. Not, you know what I mean? If your insomnia is due to pain that's causing you not to sleep at night, oh my God, how was I ever going to get through that sentence? In the original days of hot chocolate in Guatemala, they would it was just chocolate with hot peppers in the water, and that was it. When the Spaniard conquistadors came along, they're like, oh no, that's not going to fly. Let's add sugar to this and see what happens. And from that point forward, the Guatemalans were like, hey, hot chocolate with sugar, who knew? And sometimes you could do hot chocolate with sugar or stevia with the spicy pepper also. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually not terribly bad, and it will stop a lot of your pain. Don't put a lot of pepper in, though, I'm going to be honest, because that will upset your tummy and also cause insomnia. But I did put chocolate therapy because it's a super, super, super food. It's a good antioxidant. If you use organic cacao powder, 3 tablespoons to a cup, add a tablespoon of coconut oil. That also will aid your digestion, and it'll make you beautiful from the inside out because it does contribute to healthy skin and hair as well. Stop eating heavy meals. This is super important. A lot of people don't understand that there's a couple things going on with people's eating habits that need to be addressed as far as insomnia is concerned. If you eat 5 or 6 times per day, 6 small meals per day because you have diabetes or low blood sugar, there's an issue because you put your stomach in a state of having to constantly digest, and your stomach never gets a break. And when you do that to yourself, you're going to create issues where you're not going to be able to sleep. You're not going to digest your food correctly because your stomach will just not have enough stomach acid buildup in order to digest the next meal because it's already still digesting the last one. And you just kind of put yourself in a state of constant stress instead of, let's eat this meal, now we're going to relax. Let's eat this meal, now we're going to relax. So it kind of messes up your stomach a little bit. And by the same token, if you only eat 3 meals a day and they're all heavy duty meals, especially if your dinner is the biggest meal of the day, and then you go to bed within 2 hours of it, that is going to really mess up your sleep. You might fall asleep, but then you're going to wake up, you're going to toss and turn. It won't be a quality night's sleep. So eat your biggest meal first during the day. Breakfast should be your biggest meal of the day. I don't eat breakfast, I eat lunch, and I tend to eat more like in the afternoon. Then at night, I might just have like a scrambled egg and a tortilla or something. I have something very light for dinner, and that actually has helped me quite a bit. If you have an issue with your adrenal glands, I will say that eating meat, like just straight up like a hamburger patty or a small steak, never eat more than 6 ounces at any meal, but 4 ounces is better. if you just eat that, it kind of soaks up the adrenaline in your system and it takes out all of your anxiety. And that will also help your quality of sleep if indeed you're having a problem with your adrenal glands. If you want to go back and look at my Dr. Berg's episode or listen to it, sorry, you can't actually see what you can only hear. That was like so confusing. Sorry about that. But if you have the adrenal body type, it's Get Healthy to Lose Weight is the name of that episode. That will actually help you to get your, it'll get your body back into a healthy state. If you're overweight, this is something you really need to look into because nobody has an overweight problem. You just need an overweight solution, which is really just a health problem. So that is what that's all about. Avoid wheat. Wheat causes allergies, and allergies can keep you up at night. Also, wheat can create a state of panic and anxiety. It also can give you 2 to 3 times more mucus in the body than even dairy. So most people really just cannot tolerate wheat. Literally, it's not something that anyone should be eating, to be honest. I think if you really like bread, make yourself some spelt bread out of spelt flour or amaranth. There's a lot of recipes out there that do not involve wheat that are every bit as good, if not a million times better in taste and texture, as well as actual flavor. Okay, the next thing is environmental therapy. Ambiance, environment. We did a show on color a few days ago, right? And if your environment is like, if your walls are bright orange, you are not going to sleep. So make sure that your walls are soft, beautiful color. I have solutions in the color episode. If you want to go back and listen to that, you could always put fabric up on the wall. I teach you how to do that in the color episode, in the color therapy episode, because you want a calm, gentle, beautiful, soft, sweet energy around you at night. So baby blue, baby pink, beige, even like a pale green can be very, very healing, like a celery green or a sage green, something like that. Now, as far as sound is going on, you want if you're going to watch TV, don't watch something upbeat and exciting. Don't watch anything nerve-wracking. Breaking Bad is out. Don't watch that at night. Watch it during the day. Don't watch Weeds. Nothing that's going to cause tension inside your body. Last night I was up a little bit late, so I watched H2O Just Add Water. It's a very sweet, gentle, lighthearted show. A lot of imagery of mermaids, which I love, and water. It's not a show for everybody, of course, but it's strange and interesting, and it gives my subconscious mind beautiful things to work with so that I can have lovely dreams. I'm waiting for the dream in which I'm a mermaid swimming through the ocean, because that would be so fun. But don't watch anything that's going to be nerve-wracking, upsetting, annoying. Horror movies, just stop that altogether. That will keep you up at night, and it'll keep your sleep very restless. So any TV or movies that have like violent imagery or disturbing themes, this is just going to upset you. Why do it? Why hurt your psyche like that? Don't do it. Just say no. Radio, same thing. You don't want to listen to music like heavy metal or rap music. No, don't do it. Don't even listen to India Ari or Jason Mraz at night. You want to listen to things like soft jazz, not even classical music, because most classical music will boost your ability to learn for 24 hours, and your mind, your curiosity and your mind will be piqued. And when that happens, you're going to just be like up with all these ideas, and you're going to feel so creative. And you don't want to have creativity right before you fall asleep, because you're never going to fall asleep. So just keep your radio to just like I don't know, the really boring, I call it the soft butt music, the kind of music that it's the opposite of makes you want to get up and shake that booty. It makes you want to, kind of sit around and eat bonbons or something. I don't know. I just call it fat butt music because it just seems like it's the kind of music that you're just like, I don't know, bored by. But if you do something that's kind of boring, your body is just gonna be like, oh, screw this, I'm going to sleep. Your mind would be like, there's nothing more to look forward to today, I'm out. And that's kind of what you want at night. So again, with the no lights, be careful with your lighting. And in your bed itself, make sure that you have clean sheets. Cotton sheets are better because they're soft and they're cool and they're breathable. If you have fabric that is not breathable, like polyester, you're going to sweat and toss and turn and wake up feeling icky. So there are some nice microfiber sheets. They're a nice cotton poly blend that don't get wrinkled, and they're pretty lovely, and they're cheaper to buy, and they feel really cool and soft to the touch. So you can get by with poly if it's mixed with cotton. Pillows, make sure your pillows are propping your head up in the way that you need for the way you sleep. You don't want to buy a side sleeper pillow if you sleep on your stomach or your back, because that's going to screw you up. If you're going to screw your back up with the way you sleep, it's just going to ruin your whole day the next day. Put a pillow between your knees to adjust for your hips so that you don't get pain in your hips. And just make sure you have enough pillows to prop up your body if you need to. There's things like the boyfriend pillow. I'm sure there's a girlfriend pillow where you could put your head on the chest of the pillow and it feels like you're hugging somebody. So if you need that energy of like you feel like you're cuddling with somebody because you're alone and you're lonely, or maybe you were in a relationship that broke up or somebody died that you were with, you know what I mean? Like that could be something that actually, is necessary for you in order for you to fall asleep. Okay. A lot of people need that. There's these pillows that go around your entire body, the U pillows. So check it out, what's available in the world of sleep. There's a lot of pillows available. You could get a mattress topper if your bed is not comfortable, and that will take off all of the pressure points. Lots of beds out there that will actually do you a world of good. You spend a third of your life asleep, so it is well worth it to buy a bed that's $600 to $1,000 or even more. I know in Detroit, I bought 3 beds and they were like more than half off, and I paid almost $2,000 for my kids and my beds, and I never looked back, man. We were so comfortable sleeping in Detroit. It was unbelievable. It was nice. Now I'm in a bed that's like super hard because I'm renting a furnished place and it sucks. So I'm surrounding myself with pillows. I'm propping myself up with pillows. But it does work. Timing as far as environment and sleeping is important. Make sure you get your butt in bed between 10:30 and 11 every single night. Because your body, and we're going to go over this in another episode, but your body does different actions during different parts of the day or night. So if you're going to bed at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, you just lost out on all those benefits. You have certain enzymes and certain hormones and certain chemicals triggered in your brain that only happen if you're asleep at night. And if you don't go to sleep on time, you don't get the benefits. And this can, in time, it can age you, can lead to thyroid issues and heart disease and a whole bunch of crap you just don't want. So the best thing for you to do is just go to bed on time. Just go to bed on time. I am guilty of not going to bed on time, and sometimes I suffer the consequences of that. So it's something that I am well familiar with. I know from which I speak, but I'm going to do a show on the timing of things in your bodies someday soon, so you guys understand how all of that stuff works. Plus, I want to understand for me. So if I'm going to look it up, I might as well share the wealth of info, right? Vitamins and minerals. There are certain things that you want to take that will promote a healthy night's sleep. Now, melatonin, I don't recommend doing every day forever. I do recommend taking one melatonin pill per night for like 7 days. See if that happens, if that works for you. Take it maybe within 15, 20 minutes after you eat dinner, your final meal, and make sure that you eat dinner 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. And then when the sun goes down, shut off all the lights. These are the ways in which you're going to be able to absorb and utilize melatonin in your system. It's literally the smallest pill available. They are super, super tiny. They're like a third the size of a Tic Tac. So they're very small, very easy to swallow, teeny, teeny, tiny pills. But that little pill will pack such a massive punch. It will literally punch your insomnia in the face, okay? You will be able to definitely sleep with melatonin. Now, during the day, you want to take your vitamins, not at night, because again, they might have an energizing effect that will be contraindicated when you have insomnia. Minerals that you want to take. You want to get all of your minerals from chelated plants. Do not take calcium supplements. Get your minerals from chelated plant source. So what I mean by that, go out and get kale, pop it in a blender with your berries and blueberries or strawberries, and just make a shake. It might not look pretty to drink, or maybe if you love green, it will. Just drink a full blender full of this every day. You put about 1 cup of kale and a cup of berries and 2 cups of water. That should be, or at least fill it up almost to the top in a blender. That should be enough for the day. Drink a little bit, half in the morning, half in the afternoon. And this will lead to a lot of wonderful benefits as far as getting rid of extra water weight and getting rid of inflammation in the joints. It'll get rid of some of the pain you've got going if you have any. And the minerals will just relax you so that at night you're going to feel a lot better. Magnesium supplements, yes, yes, yes. That will help relax everything, your mind, your body, your joints. It will just do you a world of good. CoQ10, coenzyme Q10 is very important. It plays an important and vital role in sleep. So yes to that. You want to take that every day. Now, if you don't have allergies, animal therapy can work. If you have a local petting zoo, you want to go cuddle with some animals, come home, take a shower, and then go to bed, that might help. If you have a dog or a cat or a chinchilla or something fluffy and beautiful, or a bunny rabbit, even if you have a llama, if you have any kind of animal that loves to cuddle, go ahead and cuddle your animal. That is going to help you fall asleep, especially if you are cuddling with the animal. Like if you have a kitty cat, kitty cats are notoriously lovely sleepers, usually not so much at night because, well, they're night beings. But sometimes animals can help. It can calm your nervous system, calm your mind, lower your blood pressure, and actually it will slow your heart rate down to cuddle with an animal. It'll make you feel loved and special and wonderful. And it'll give you the warm fuzzies, and those are the warm fuzzies you're going to take all the way to La La Land. I don't mean Los Angeles, I mean sleeping. Okay? Another form of animal therapy is counting sheep. Just imagine there's sheep hopping over a fence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Something super, super, super boring like that. You know, you want to count ducks floating by on a pond in your mind. Do a creative visualization of animals. The idea of animals it's very relaxing. If you want to do any kind of boring mind game, your mind literally will shut itself off. It'll be like, no, you know what? Screw this, I'm out. Click, and you'll fall asleep. So just think about something super, super boring, and that might do the trick. Now, speaking of cats and dogs, that will also lead us to cuddle therapy. And I also mentioned the boyfriend pillow earlier. I mentioned sex robots a couple weeks ago. We're almost there, right? You cuddle up with your favorite sex robot, right? With a bionic penis. But until we're into the future, cuddle therapy, you could cuddle with not only animals, but people. Hug therapy also. If hugging people, that relaxes your mind, your body, your muscles. It actually does all the same things, lowers your blood pressure. That's why there's people that stand on street corners with a giant sign that says free hugs. They're not all perverts. They probably just need love and hugs, and they also want to help other people. If you don't get 8 to 12 hugs per day, that actually shortens your life. And to be honest with you guys, I get about 3 hugs a week. So I don't know, people. I definitely need some kind of cuddle and hug therapy. There are actual professional cuddlers. I just saw this on the TV show Billions, like this past week. Literally, there are professional cuddlers. If you don't have anyone in your life, you can literally hire somebody to come over and just hold you in their arms while you cry or sleep or just talk it out or hug it out. Pretty crazy, right? What a fun job that would be. Well, unless you get stuck with a pervert, then it'd be like time to quit and look for something new. All right, enough of the perverts. But if you don't have any person or animal in your life, go buy yourself a stuffed animal. Just a little fox or a cat or a dog or whatever kind of animal you like. You could even buy a shark or a dolphin. Just a stuffed animal pillow can make you feel loved, and you could put love into it. Go listen to Are Teddy Bears Alive? Because you could put so much love into a stuffed animal that it will hug you back. It will have energy back for you. So put all your love into it. You will get that love later at a later date when you need it for yourself. Now, if you're embarrassed about anyone seeing your baby stuffed dolphin, you could always shove it in your pillowcase. No one's gonna know. You could shove it in a dresser drawer if you have somebody over, right? So, laugh therapy. All this might be leading you to laughing. Yes, laughing is good for you. Lowers your blood pressure. It calms your heart rate, the whole 9 yards. Everything that I've already mentioned, laugh therapy will do it. You can find a yogurt, not yogurt. You can find that, but that's not what I'm talking about. You can find a laughter yoga specialist near you, probably, or online. Or you could just look it up on YouTube. Why not? I'm sure. I haven't even looked, but I am sure you can find laughter yoga online and you could just laugh. Or you could read a funny book. You can listen to a funny podcast. I recommend highly Potterotica. It is hilarious. These women decided when they were freaked out when they heard that there's literally erotica with a Harry Potter theme to it. And the first book that they read, if you get into this one, it's hilarious. They're talking about Hermione is being seduced by Professor Snape, and not a whole lot happens. I mean, it takes like 6 or 7 episodes before they're even naked, but so it's like erotic, but the way that it's worded, and they're laughing their asses off the whole time. So there's a lot of really funny and relaxing podcasts out there besides mine that will actually get you laughing and that will get you relaxed, which will lead you to a greater night's sleep. Sex therapy, woo! With yourself or with others. But I do want to say one caveat to sex therapy. Having a nice orgasm will relax everything. It's a reset button for your mind. So that is something I highly recommend. But avoid porn, because that will put your mind in a high-paced wanting to have it more and more and more, and that could just lead to like a weird sex addiction thing. And You won't be able to sleep if you keep having porn images going through your head, especially if you accidentally come across a page that is extremely disturbing or something you don't want to see. That will cause sleepless nights for weeks. So don't look at porn. Just use your own mind or just go make love if you have an F buddy, or like we call it here in South America, amigo con derechos, a friend with benefits or rights. Or if you have a loved one, somebody, if you're married or you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Sex therapy can work, especially if there is love involved. I don't recommend going to a prostitute. I don't recommend one-night stands. Don't misuse your sexuality, because that can lead to a bunch of loneliness and guilt and horrible feelings that will lead to insomnia. So do not do any of those things. But if you have someone who's special, a good friend or someone in your life, that might be something that works for you. So, I wrote here this joke. Porn will keep you up, no pun intended. So don't do that. All right, cognitive behavioral therapy. If your insomnia lasts more than, I would say, 10 to 14 days, even if it lasts more than 7 days or nights, 7 nights, probably if you do all the stuff I mentioned here and it still does not work after a week, go see a professional. There's no shame or harm or foul in that. Go find yourself a really, really good psychologist who can help you talk it out and discover what is the source of your insomnia. You go also and get a blood test done with a doctor and see if there's not a medical reason. So after 7 to 10 days, if you still have insomnia, go seek not only a medical doctor, but also a cognitive behavioral therapist who can help you fix your behavior and in a way in which you will be able to, again, sleep and relax and be healthy. Also, you can conversely see a naturopathic doctor who might have yet even more information than I do and can help you. Color therapy, I already mentioned this with the soft, gentle colors. What about your pajamas? Do you sleep in the nude? Do you sleep in cuddly pajamas? My favorite pajamas in which I get the best night's sleep is a cotton t-shirt. It is a very pale kind of turquoise, and it has a surfboard on it, and I love the idea of surfing, even though, I grew up in Surf City, USA, baby. I went to kindergarten in Huntington Beach, okay? So that's where most of my childhood was in Huntington Beach, right? I love the ocean, I love the beach. Wasn't allowed to go out in the sun much because of my skin, being a redhead, and I don't know how to surf, but something about that just makes me so happy. So I have this happy t-shirt, and when I wear that shirt, I fall asleep almost right away. So get the softest, most gentlest, amazing fabric. And ladies, you know what? You don't have to wear the sexy lingerie every night because it's not always comfortable. It has seams, and it could be unbreathable fabric a lot of times. Like silk is really fun and cuddly to wear, but it's not always practical. Cotton always is, I think, the best. It is smooth and it's cuddly and it's soft and very, very breathable. I think it's really the most comfortable. So make sure your jammies are your jam. You know what I mean? You got to find the ones that you love. And the PJs with the footies are fun to wear, but they're so hot. If you're overly hot or overly cool at night, it's just not going to work. The best advice I can give you is keep your feet warm and your head cool. That is how in Asia they say to do it. They've known for thousands of years how to sleep correctly. You keep your head nice and cool and relaxed, and keep your feet hot or warm, not hot, but warm. That will actually help you to sleep. If you are in a very hot environment, you need a window open, that's cool. For me, I cannot sleep with the window open because I live in South America and I have an irrational fear of a vampire bat coming into my bedroom and biting me and sucking my blood. And don't tell me I'm crazy, because they exist. They're real. My son has been bit by bats twice. I mean, literally, he came home twice with, one time was a V shape. A real vampire bat bit my kid. I'm like, oh my God, just 2 more times, you're going to be a vampire yourself. So now I have this irrational fear because that happened, and you can't feel it. They have very gentle tongues, and they lick you with this neurotoxin, and you don't feel it. And next thing you know, you look down, your leg is bleeding. You're like, what the hell happened? It's only ever happened in California like once. It doesn't happen in North America, but in South America, it's pretty common, especially if you're near livestock. So it's kind of creepy. And now I'm like, I know I can't keep the window open. It just freaks me out. and that's the other thing. I mean, we all have fears of monsters and weird shit. So when you go to bed, I mean, if you're afraid of spiders, that's another thing for me. Like if I think there might be a bug in here, I freak out. So, I mean, sweep your bedroom early in the day. Make sure there's no cobwebs, there's no bugs, there's nothing. You know, look around, make sure there's no men hiding in your closet, or, you know, keep your curtains closed. You know, I have like paranoia about weird shit like this. So if you're the same as me, just make yourself at ease. Look through all your closets. You're not crazy. You just need to know. If you can relax in your own environment, you're fine. But if you are going to lay in bed going, I didn't look there, that's going to keep you up too. So even if you feel silly doing it, just put your mind to ease. Go through your whole apartment, your whole house, look in all the closets, under the beds, make sure there's nothing there. Nothing's going to come and get you. You know, make sure you lock your doors at night. Keep everything safe. I know, sorry, I didn't mean to add the paranoia to you in case that's making you scared, but for me, it was like, it's imperative. I have to go through my whole place, make sure all of my windows are closed because of the vampire bat situation. Even though there's probably never in the city ever been a case in which a bat flew into the place, but you know what? I'm not going to be the first. Anyway, as far as color therapy, I mean, for me, I have this turquoise blanket I mentioned during the color therapy episode, and it's just such a beautiful color. I look at that, and it's so relaxing. And lately, I actually changed out my normal bedspread. It was a very dark, it was like 3 or 4 colors. It was beautiful, really beautiful blanket. I didn't pick any of it out. It just came with the place. But I replaced it with a very boring kind of beige colored blanket that's kind of like a camel color. And you know what? I feel like so much more relaxed when I look at this color, and a little bit bored. It's a little bit boring of a color, which is perfect for a bedroom. My mind kind of goes, yeah, it's just kind of boring. I'm out. And then I want to sleep. So surround yourself by boring colors sometimes. Turquoise, gentle pink, white, beige, lavender, baby blue, tan, you know, those kind of colors. Massage therapy during the afternoon can help lead to better sleep at night. If you don't have sex therapy or cuddle therapy or hug therapy available to you, pay a professional to massage you. And I don't mean happy endings, okay? And how come I, as a woman, have never been offered? I would at least like to be offered a happy ending sometimes. Okay, back to the show. Anyway, I mean, I'm probably going to say no, probably 90%. I am pretty sure that I'm going to say no to a happy ending. But why don't I get offered that? I could go to the same massage parlor as my guy friend and he gets offered. Okay, forget it. All right, back to the show. All right. Massage therapy actually is really, really wonderful. I used to see a massage therapist in Santa Barbara. I used to see two in Santa Barbara. One was a woman whose hands were like, I don't know, it was like she had really tiny hands and she was not very strong. And I have very, very tense muscles. I was a bodybuilder at the time, so I needed someone with really super strong hands. But the only reason I went to her is her massage oils were fabulous. The scents that she came up with, the herbal, like she would work with oregano and thyme and all these things. So she would massage me and I would still be in pain and still be tense. But an hour later, after I left, after breathing in the aromatherapy and the aromatic oils and the herbs that she put in her oil, oh my God, I felt so relaxed and good. And then a couple days later, I would go to my real massage therapist, who just used coconut oil or almond oil, usually sweet almond oil. And, he didn't use any herbs or aromatherapy, but his form of relaxing was he had deep Swedish massage, tissue massage. So I was like, it was so intense. And he himself was a bodybuilder, so he knew how all the muscles worked and where they were located and what to do when they were tense. And so a good deep tissue massage once a week will really, really, really put the brakes on your insomnia. So you can massage yourself though, put coconut oil and just, gently touch yourself, like on your arms and your legs. Even giving yourself a face massage will help. If you do acupressure on your face, that can also help. Massaging your feet and looking at an acupressure chart, you can literally heal your body with acupressure of the feet, and it will also relax you. If you have a partner to do it, all the better. Also hands, I love giving hand massages. I'm really good at, I used to be with a guy who was a professional musician, and I would massage his hands every night. And I loved it because it made him so relaxed and he would sleep and made me feel good, like I did a good deed for the day. And he was a bass player and he was a horrible person, but an incredible musician. And so I kind of, I got used to doing that. And I'm like, I wish someone would do that for me. And I kind of miss having someone that I could massage their hands every day. So I don't know, maybe my twin flame plays guitar. That would be super cool. Anyway, using with the massage, you could use coconut oil and essential oils, or again, you can make an infusion of oils with herbs and massage yourself and have that scent. Even if you're not very strong and you don't know how to massage yourself, just do that, and the aromatic oils will actually relax you and help you to sleep. Biofeedback machines, I highly recommend. If you are a type A, highly strong individual, you might need to just invest $100 in a biofeedback machine. They're really, really small. You put your thumb on it and it feels your heart rate and your pulse, basically. And you start to do creative visualization, meditation, or self-hypnosis, even listening to solfeggio frequencies or binaural beats, whatever it takes. Go to Netflix, immediately start watching moving art at night. It's gentle, beautiful music. It's lovely, moving images. It's not going to stimulate your mind in a harsh way, but in a rather gentle, beautiful way. They have an episode of The Ocean I highly recommend. The episode on Thailand, I think, is a little bit stimulating for night because there's a lot of women dancing and they're wearing red and orange and bright colors that might stimulate your mind too much. But they have some very beautiful imagery of flowers and water and butterflies and things that are just going to really calm you down. So I've totally recommend that. And if you have to use a biofeedback machine, you might want to try it in conjunction with something soft, like soft music or the soft moving art. Seriously, watching jellyfish in a tank that are all beautiful and pink. I mean, it's just like super relaxing. It makes me laugh. It's so sweet. So you might want to try chiropractic care if you're having subluxations and back pain is something that is keeping you up at night. A good chiropractor, especially one that uses a gentle force technique versus a hardcore force technique, you don't want someone who's really rough with chiropractic. They can accidentally snap your neck and kill you. I didn't even know that was possible until I heard of an instance in which a little lady with osteoporosis went to a chiropractor with a very aggressive technique, and he snapped her neck, and now he's in jail for 25 years. Oops. So don't ever, by the way, force your own neck with your hands. Don't ever do that. There was a man and a woman, they were arguing in California. She kept saying, don't do that. You're going to kill yourself. Don't hurt your neck. And he's like, screw you. I could do whatever the hell I want. And he snapped his own neck in front of her and killed himself in front of her accidentally during an argument about why not to do that. Do not ever do it-yourself chiropractic in relationship to your neck with your hands. If you need to adjust your neck, massage your neck gently, keep your hands at your side, and then you can stretch in various ways until your neck gently fixes itself, or go see a chiropractor, or even better yet, a massage therapist who knows also how to put your back gently back into place without killing you. I mean, it's just a little word of advice. So acupuncture, I highly recommend the needles. Go to somebody who's gone to an Oriental College of Medicine, like in Santa Barbara, or, even China itself. Chinese medicine has been around for thousands of years, and it works. It works. I mean, they'll put little needles in you. They're really teeny tiny needles. Remember when I did my show on Atlantis writhing? That lady who wrote that book, she's an acupuncturist. She talks about it in the first half of the show. So if you missed it, I highly recommend going to go listen to Atlantis Writhing. She does talk about acupuncture, what it is, what it does, why you should not be afraid of the needles. They literally don't really hurt. Occasionally you'll get a needle that hurts a little bit, but it's not like a normal needle. It's not even like getting a shot at the doctor. Those needles are huge compared to acupuncture needles. And it will get all your chi lined up, your meridians going, flowing energetically in the correct way. And you might have a blockage that you just didn't know about. That's why I highly recommend acupuncture. Also go to a naturopath. A naturopathic doctor, like I said before, might have a solution that you didn't even know you needed. I loved going to my naturopathic doctor in Chico, even though he gave me herbs that sometimes were stinky or gave me diets that just hocked me off. They made me so angry. But 6 months later, I'd be thinner and feel better and fitter and no longer on the way to developing something worse. So he actually saved my life, to be honest. I went to a naturopathic doctor when I was diagnosed with thyroid problems. And 6 months later, my thyroid was 100% healed and fixed. And guess what? I never took the medicine from the allopathic doctor. I threw away the paper with the prescription on it. I just threw it away. I'm like, screw this. I'm not going to do it. Sorry, you're not going to get paid to practice on me. Naturopathic doctors listen to medicine systems from a lot of different cultures and a lot of different things like aromatherapy and herbology, acupressure, acupuncture, all of the things are combined in a naturopathic setting. So that I highly recommend. Please look into mudras. I haven't done an episode on mudras yet, but someday I will soon. Mudras are hand positions that help energy flow through your body in a specific way to bring about various changes depending on what you need. Go ahead and look for a free Mudra app. Mudra is spelled M-U-D-R-A. and it's a Hindu word for hand position. There was one that I tried for fun. It was in a book called Mudras for Women. Men can also do them. It was just specifically for female health, but because there's a lot of female related mudras. But in that book, actually, I found a hand position that creates, it's to help a deeper meditation. And when I did it, I literally smelled roses. And if you do it correctly and the energy starts flowing correctly, your body will literally produce the scent of roses. How weird is that? So mudras I highly recommend. Bach flower remedies is my last therapy of the day, of the night, that I'm going to recommend. If you take rescue remedy because you're very nervous, anxiety, you have a stress, or you've had a recent shock, that completely helps. Oh, also biosalts is another thing. Go to your health food store and ask what the heck a biosalt is, and they usually have a brochure. Biosalt therapy and Bach flower remedies are two really strange and unusual things, but a Bach flower, I will also do a show on this. A Bach flower remedy is, the flower is never touched a human hand. It's an organic flower, and the flower itself is cut with a very special instrument and is put in water and it's kept either in the sun or in the moon, depending on the energy needed. And the energy of the flower is absorbed into the water. The water is then mixed with alcohol, such as rum or vodka, in very tiny amounts, just to preserve the water and keep it fresh and pure. And then you only take 1 or 2 drops under the tongue. If you're an alcoholic and afraid of the alcohol content, you just put 1 or 2 drops in hot tea, and the energy is released. You can put 1 or 2 drops in a full bottle of water and drink that throughout the day, and it will change your aura and your energy in your tissues. Highly, highly recommend Bach flower remedies. They are usually in every health food store around, and especially rescue remedy. If you can't find the others, go for the rescue remedy. It will be something that you just will never regret. If you get into a car accident, someone dies, you have a shock, lose your job, anything, rescue remedy is literally your best friend. When I lost my marriage and I became a single mom, I mean, every day, hey kids, come in here, here's your Bach flower remedy. Every single day I put it in their tea, or I would put it under their tongue. And then there's also pastilles, like little tiny, they look like little mints, Bach flower mints, and they also don't have alcohol. So also I gave my kids that. And it really helped us get through a rough time. So I highly recommend that. I don't know, you guys, I love each and every one of you. I hope that my information has helped. If you have insomnia, may that be short-lived and may you be long-lived. I wish for you to long live, and you live long and prosper. I'm doing the Spock sign to the phone right now. I wanted to thank you for listening. I am grateful for each and every one of you. But right now, that's all I got to say about that. I'm signing off now with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, sweet dreams. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.